Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have details to share from a focus group of Democrats who actually turned and voted for Donald Trump in 2024. And spoiler alert, there are some who have regrets. So before I get into all of that, please click the subscribe button below this video. It is free for you. It helps the show tremendously. So I thank you in advance. And as always, I'm immensely grateful for all of you who support the show with donations on and off of YouTube. So here's what's up. The New York Times spoke with 12 people. It's not a huge group, but these are 12 people who previously voted for Democratic candidates. But in 2024, for the first time, they cast their ballot for Donald Trump. And they asked these participants why they voted for Trump and what they think of him now, more than 100 days into his presidency. So it's a mixed bag. A 48-year-old New York man named Daniel said, quote, "I was truly hoping that Trump was looking for some redemption for his past efforts. I really thought that was going to happen. Now," Daniel says, quote, "he's doing undeniably, unequivocally awful." A 38-year-old Virginia woman, her name is Jessica, she told the moderator, quote, "I felt Trump was the better candidate. Now I think he has good intentions, but he's going about it the wrong way." A man named Chris is 34 years old. He's a Georgia resident, and he said, quote, "I was a little skeptical when I voted, stuck between two bad choices, but hopeful that maybe Trump was a different person now. Overall, I'm disappointed. He hasn't accomplished what he set out to do, and the economy is not moving in the right direction." And then Chris also said that Trump's presidency is just as chaotic as it was in the first term, and especially in regard to his tariffs. So he's not happy about that. And then there was a 54-year-old man named, or woman, excuse me, there's a woman named Samantha. She responded to another participant who was praising Donald Trump's immigration policies. And she said, quote, "It's fine to have opinions on immigration. I believe in good Republican politics. Taking people idly off the street because you think that they might be a gang member doesn't fly with me. Due process is for all, no matter what the situation is. You'd want to deport somebody, they deserve due process." And then Samantha also took issue with Trump's cabinet picks. There was also a 37-year-old woman from Texas. She's named Megan. She told the moderator that she ditched the Democratic Party because, quote, "my life wasn't getting better. The future wasn't looking great." But as a small business owner, Megan now says that she's fluctuating between hope and fear because of Trump's tariffs. And she said they've already negatively impacted her business. So she told the moderator, quote, "We're going to have to start looking for alternatives. We've already lined up other manufacturers. We've tried to look at manufacturing in the US, which is still too expensive. We're in crisis mode." But Megan thinks that Trump's biggest failure has been immigration. So she is like that other woman, Samantha. She is not happy about what she's seeing and the extrajudicial, arrests and deportations. Others in the group named the stock market volatility, tariffs, and the economy as Trump's biggest failure. And one man, a guy named John, he called out Doge. He said, quote, "The government has spent more in the past 100 days than they did the year prior, same 100 days. So I think Doge has been a flop, very disappointing. Promised a lot, didn't deliver." And then the moderator asked each of these people to provide a single word to describe the United States right now. The answers were mostly negative. So I'm going to run through them real quick. One said tough, two said unstable, failing, broken, challenging, confusing. Two said great, two said unsettling, and one said anxious. But when they asked if any of these people regret voting for Trump, only three people raised their hands. So Daniel, Samantha, and a Massachusetts man named Dan. And Daniel explained he regrets his vote because, quote, my 401k keeps on dropping. That's bad. Some people don't, some people, some people don't want to pretend it's bad because a large portion of this country does not have stocks. Most MAGA doesn't have stocks, so they don't care. And then Dan, he should have just gone with his gut because he said he regrets his vote because, quote, I was tentative on election day. I wasn't sure that Trump was the better candidate, and now I'm pretty sure that he is not the one. I regret the choice. I think he's just taken executive power way too far, and it's just obliterated the legislative and congressional side of things for our government. We only have executive orders now. And then Dan also said, quote, I think he can be vindictive and difficult to deal with personally as president. And I think he can be very tough to deal with. I do have some good news and bad news in addition to what I've already shared. And I want to point out too, I know it's tough because you go, gosh, there's only three of these people with all the negative comments. There's only three that regret their vote. We have to keep in mind that is three after only 3 months in office. That is 1/4 of this group. This group was only 12 people. So he has already lost 1/4 of them in only 100 days. Imagine how many more he will lose, because I can tell you from all the focus groups I'm listening to, all of the polling that I'm looking at, so many of these people are willing to just give him a little more time. And again, people don't want to admit that they made a mistake. People don't want to have to say, yeah, I screwed up. I was stupid. I screwed up and I made a mistake. And this was, not what I should have done. And I'm sorry. They'll never, a lot of them will never apologize, but a great number of them will never even admit it, even if they know it deep down. And I think there are a hell of a lot of them out there who feel that way right now, who really understand that they screwed up and they do not have the courage and the character to admit it. So, things are better than it seems. And for the people out there who go, oh, what does this matter? And blah, blah, blah. And, he's already in there. He's already going to do what he's going to do. It matters, again, as I've said before, for the midterms, and it matters to give his own party permission to break with him. We're already seeing that in certain instances. So that's why it's important that we ebb away, that we just nibble away at his support, or that he does it for us and gets people to turn on him. Because then people in power, people with influence, feel that they can speak out against this administration and tell the truth. So it is a good thing. But like I said, I do have some more good news. I have some bad news. So this is for the Democratic Party, though. The good news is the majority of this group blames Trump for the recent stock market chaos. 9 out of 12 blame Trump. So his rhetoric about, oh, this is Biden's fault, this is Biden's economy, they're not buying it. And 4 out of the 12 said that they're worse off since Trump became president, including, I was shocked, one person who did not say that they regret their vote. So I guess they're happy about being worse off. And then 7 of them said their situation hasn't changed at all. Only one person said that he's doing better, or he feels that he's doing better under Trump. That's not what people voted for either. People didn't vote for things to just be stagnant, for things not to change. They specifically voted for Trump to change things and make their lives better. So that's not good news in any way for him. Now, the bad news is most of these voters were very scathing in their opinion of the Democratic Party. So the participants described the Democratic Party as the party of elites, that they're small in their thinking, and that they're in it for themselves. Several of them said that they're not sure what the party stands for anymore. They describe the party as being weak. And when asked what Democrats or which Democrats, I should say, they might consider voting for in the future, I have to tell you guys, my skin was crawling. One of them said Hakeem Jeffries, and the other one mentioned Rahm Emanuel. Yeah, yeah, because that's what we need, right? We need more weakness from someone like Hakeem Jeffries, who can't even stand up in this moment of great need, or corruption from Rahm Emanuel. I mean, for the love of God, people need to do their research on candidates. Okay. We need to get away from the mindset of anyone who says something negative about Trump must be a good person. They must be honest. They must be trustworthy. They must, not be out there doing stock trades. They must not be one of the bad ones. They must have integrity. It's just not true. There are plenty of people who have negative hot takes on Trump and say all the right things, but they are not good people. They may not be as bad as Trump, but they're not good people. And there are a hell of a lot of people in this world who are not going to vote for them because they have done their homework, they have done their research, and they know too much about these people. I've shared with you guys before all of my issues with Hakeem Jeffries, even before he showed himself to be completely feckless and weak in dealing with this authoritarian fascist regime. So, yeah, people need to stop just allowing these candidates to whisper in their ear, say all the right things, and get them in the bed voting booth. It's just, they're politicians, guys. They're politicians. This is why we need somebody more sincere, more authentic, who isn't going to bullshit all of us. So, anyway, I will keep you all posted. I have another focus group to share with you probably tomorrow. So, keep an eye out for that. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.